Yes, so I've just put the topic in the chat, which is having a service-focused work environment. I know we have had a lot of talks about this before, but it is just one of those very important things to talk about, especially relating it to Moracle and what we do, the nature of, the organization for which we work. So that's why it is important, because we need to have this in mind always. And yeah, that's why I want us to talk about it, how to have a service-focused environment, work environment, I mean. So again, I want us to remember that Moracle as an entity is existing because of, something else, like the existence of Moracle depends on many other things, but majorly the clients that we serve, the clients that we are working for. So without these clients, then Moracle cannot exist. And in the process, if Moracle does not exist, me and you cannot exist as well. I mean, we will exist, of course, but there is no Moracle really if we don't exist. And also, if the clients do not exist. So it's like a a relationship between three parties there, with the client at the top and then Moracle down and us behind Moracle. So that's why we are here to talk about, understanding which type of environment we are required to have here at Moracle, and how does that look like? How do we ensure that actually it is a service focused environment? So every day Mola will remind me, and I am sure many other people that, all of you have interacted with him, that, our client should always be at the back of our mind in everything that we do. Because, like everyone knows, like it's always said, the client is always right. The client is the king. I know there's a lot of, contradicting, beliefs about that. But, in one way or another, we all understand that, the client is king. It all starts with the client. So for me, I look at it as a situation, an environment where the client's needs are always priority in everything that we do. In everything that I do, the client's needs or demands are priority. So what do I do with this in mind when serving a client or when working with my colleagues with the goal of serving better, better serving these clients and performing better for their satisfaction and for relationship building with these clients, to maintain this long-term relationship, or even building new relationship. How do I ensure that whatever I'm doing at my level also is contributing to this overall goal that we have as Moracle? I think what I need as a person is to first of all know that if I'm here, in addition to all the roles that I have, in addition to all the projects or responsibilities that have been given to me, whether accounting or non-accounting, if I am here, I'm here for the client in the first place. I am here to serve. That is what Molai would say. You are here to serve. And this can be internally or externally. That means with your internal colleagues or the external parties who are mostly clients or any other authority governing, our work. So just know that you are here to serve. Just recently, for example, Molai gave me an example of a client who, was waiting for some work to be done on their accounts and all that. But in the process, of course, the client would mention something stressful in their personal lives and all that. In a normal situation or any other person, they would feel like this is not their business, to listen to. This is not really, it has nothing to do with them, and probably try to dismiss whatever the client is trying to talk about, which is not maybe account related. And so in another, in a scenario like that, most people would probably not even give it a time, will not give time to the client to just rant or just complain about something in their personal life. But it was a reminder and an explanation from him to just show me how in a way, we are connected to these clients even beyond the books that we are doing for them, you know. These are people who have trusted us with something really sensitive, you know, and they're trusting maybe most of us that they do not know. They might know the people directly working with them, but they do not know who are those other people behind this person working with this person. But somehow, and also, especially looking at the nature of our work environment, how we work, you know, in a remote space. Everyone is in their corner at their place, wherever they are. But these clients, they don't know where we are, yes? So, but that somehow they have trusted us, not because they know us, not because they can see what we are doing or where we are, but because not just that we can also work on their you know, accounts, but probably you know, as a way to show that we are dependable, like we are reliable. And so we need to have that in mind so that we prove to them that actually they are right to do that, that they should be confident in doing that, that they should be confident in trusting us, even without knowing some of us, that they are not wrong to do that. So how do we keep this going? And I think that's what we need really to always remember. This is by actually making sure that the internal structures are well put in place, not just to deliver our work, but to deliver it with the client at the center of everything that we do, the decision we do, the structure that we put in place. Just yesterday, I was talking about just an example of, you know, simply having probably a video on when we are meeting or when we are talking to a client. Another thing that I wanted to add is not to complain, but I know most times when we are in a remote work environment, people could be a little bit relaxed in how they present themselves, you know, physically, maybe how they are dressed or in which position they're seated, how are they addressing their, you know, audience. So we are not saying that people are not doing that, but it's just another example of how to just build this confidence with the person that you're addressing, the person that you are conversing with. How do you present yourself? Are you actually aware that there's someone who is looking at you, someone who is seeing you? You know, so just have that video on, be presentable, be well dressed, you know, just consider it, consider that you're actually going for a physical meeting. Would you go looking anyhow? Would you go dressed anyhow when you're meeting your client, a client that you expect? So those are just a few of the examples that I can use probably to just introduce this topic. And you know, I think the main point for me, the main point that I want probably to just put out there is really to have the client always at the back of the mind. Of course, we have talked about this before. We know that clients could be, you know, difficult in a way. You know, as any other human being, as myself as a human being, I also have my own challenges. I also have my own characters that, you know, someone else might not be able to put up with because, you know, they are different, they are odd, they are not familiar with it. Different cultures, different personalities, different beliefs, but you know, this is what we have dedicated ourselves to. You know, we know the culture at Moracle. We know, we have been told this over and over again. And so when we say that we are part of Moracle, then we agree to work and follow the Moracle way. Yeah, I think that's another interest. I think that Mola just, you know, told me a few days ago again that you know, we all come from different corners. We have worked with different organizations or companies, so in different environments who have their different ways of doing things, their different beliefs, you know, their different, you know, structures, you know, which are good. Some of them are good. And that you might come with here at Moracle and think that you'll continue doing what you used to do there, which we are not saying is not good, because everywhere we go, we learn something, we come with something additional to share, yes? Like we have always been saying here, yes? we are all part of a team and everyone has something to contribute. Everyone knows something extra probably to share. And that is very welcome at Moracle. At least we all understand that flexibility and free and, open mindedness that is here at Moracle. So yes, of course, that is a good thing. But another thing that is so important is to know where you are at what time. So you're at Moracle now. There's a Moracle way of doing things. And so when you come to Moracle, when you agree to work with Moracle, then you're also agreeing to do things the Moracle way, because there's a structure in place, there are rules, there are visions. If Moracle has come up with standards, values, that means that is what governs all that they do. So you cannot come and not agree to follow those values. Otherwise, you are not contributing to the long-term goal of the company. Yeah, I hope that is really understood, because then that means you're not part of the team, because you're not playing your role as it's expected of you for the overall goal of Moracle, yeah, for the client. So I think I wanted to say that just as another reminder. Of course, we will keep talking about this. We'll keep talking about Moracle standards, vision, and everything. But the aspect of a service-focused environment at Moracle is very, very important. And we'll talk about it over and over again, so that every day as we come to work, every day as we are assigned anything, we always have the client at the back of our mind, at the center of everything that we do. Just know that you are here to serve. Yes, we have our own personal goals, career goals and professional, personal, whatever it could be. But again, at Moracle, we are doing things the Moracle way, which is client first. We listen to them, we understand them, we find a way of dealing with them, no matter how difficult or complex any situation could be. Just make sure that the client feels comfortable with you, the client feels that you're trustworthy, reliable, and dependable, and then overall just achieve these long and strong relationships with them for the good of not just them and also Moracle in general. So yes, I think that's what I have for this topic as an introduction, or probably the few points that I had to share with you this morning. I would like to invite anyone else who would like to say something about this topic. Please feel free. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I think we all know the importance of this topic, importance of service-focused uh, environment, service-focused culture, which is really important. We all know that the client is the reason we exist, and we always emphasize it in Moracle because what you need in a work industry is reputation, is the satisfaction that your customers and your clients have. And if you don't have that, so you won't survive. And it's the first thing that is important, I think, in every company. And yeah, as I said, it helps your reputation, and it makes customer come back to you. It makes clients stay with you because of the culture that you have, that you think of the client first thing. And yeah, it's really important, and that it helps with the what we call it, the trust and customer loyalty. Yeah, I really think that when the culture in your company is to think of client first, it helps with customer loyalty, and the that as I said, when they always come back to you. So I think it's when we talk about a service-focused culture, it's not only the behavior and the respect that we put personally. It's important. It's the first thing that is important. But the other thing is, in that matter, I think, is that how your services and your products is customer friendly, is client friendly, is I mean, it's easy to work with your services with your clients. For example, your website. If your job is related to people to come to your website, it's important that you pay attention to that and make it also um, pretty and also uh, um, the word, but make it friendly with people who come to it, because it's important that it's easy to use your product, your services. I don't know if it's a website, if it's a product, and anything that you are giving to people, to your clients. It's important that be really useful and easy to use, because that's another way that you show your clients that you pay attention to them, you respect them, and it's really important. I think that the beside the behavior and the respect that you have to put in a person to person meetings, it's important that whatever you are presenting is really um, paid attention to and be useful and easy to use. I think, yeah, it's really important. And to have that culture, I think the culture of a service-focused culture, I think the first thing is that it has to be clear in your company's values or standards, and like what we have in Moracle, that we have, for example, respect and behavior in our standards, which really clears that how much we respect employees and also the clients. It's really important that we have it clear in the company's values, I don't know, or visions or something, that for, like what we have in Moracle. And then I think every single person in the company should understand it completely, and everyone should be in the same page about it. So the client doesn't receive missed signals. It's really important. And also I think it improves staff's and employee satisfaction as well, because when you have happy clients, when you respect your clients and they are happy and they are satisfied, so your employees and your staffs are happy too, because when there is dissatisfaction, people get angry, people yell, I don't know, something like that. And when you don't have that in your work environment, when everything is nice and everyone is satisfied and no one is complaining, so your mind is satisfied and you are happy. So yeah, I think that helps staff's happiness too. Yeah, that was my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sepide, for that. Thank you for that great contribution. I think, this could just be an opportunity for us to learn, and take it as a small training, because I know most people think and believe that accounting is all about numbers, just busy with your numbers and your books and all that. And they forget that even accountants can have some level of customer client service, involved in their work, because they are dealing with people, they're dealing with clients. And so even accountants need to know how to handle clients in all situations. So yes, thank you for mentioning that. Yes, Robert, you're welcome.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you for this topic, having a service-focused work environment. So having a service, who are we giving this service to? Like you mentioned, is customers. And which customers? There are different customers who we serve. So I think it's important to understand in this service we're giving the requirement of that particular customer. They almost receive the same sort of services, but each one may be slightly different. So that's something very important. So having that client-centric approach, whereby you need to satisfy their needs, is very key because we are giving this service which they want from us. So at the end of the day, is that sort of congruence where everybody's contribution is leading to satisfying the customer, though some of us might not be dealing directly. So that's why it's really important to collaborate, to work as a team, because at the end of the day, as a company, we have this customer. If something goes wrong, they are not going to blame an individual here. It's going to be the name of the company. So the company also needs to make profit. But how does it make profit? By satisfying the customer. So that client-centric approach is very, very important. Now, when the company makes a profit, we are also going to get paid. And the company is going to grow its reputation, having more customers. So it's really, really important to think of the service you are giving and to, because everybody, you've got to tailor according to their needs. The second thing I would think of is precision and accuracy. If we are doing things accurately, if we are taking our time to make sure the service we are giving is accurate, relevant for that particular customer, I think that's something very important. Otherwise, we are going to rush and say, okay, yeah, we are looking after our customers, but whatever we give them might not be satisfactory. We need to help them grow, give them ideas, suggest to them other things. But before we do that, we need to do some work within us. We need to work on ourselves. We need to educate ourselves. We need to be ahead of the game. There's lots of competition out there as well. So whatever service we give must be ahead maybe of others. We need to try and do that. Then the third thing I might think of is timely reporting and compliance. Are we doing things on time? Because you could do a wonderful job for a customer, but you give it to them very late. I mean, once time is passed, that report might not be relevant anymore. Or if they are penalized, if we are doing a report for them, which is supposed to be submitted at a particular date, and it gets to them, fine, well done, but late. So that's where we need to think, are we able to do this particular job in this particular period of time they're asking us to do it? If we can, brilliant. If we can't, we should be ready to say no. Otherwise, we are putting our reputation at risk. So thank you very much. It's a wonderful topic, having a service-focused work environment. We also need to be happy in the work environment. We need to think about it. Trying to satisfy the customers. Are the other factors okay for us? Do we have the relevant software? Do we have the equipment? Have we had the training? So all these things come into play. Thank you. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much, Robert. I really like, again, what you have brought up there. Yeah, we are dealing with different clients, yes. Of course, we are almost giving them the same service as you said, but everyone is different. Somehow, somewhere, something will be different. So we need to understand them personally so that we can have personalized services. That's really interesting. I think it starts with that so that you deal with someone, at a more or less personal level, when you understand them, when you understand their character, personality, or actually what they require. It could still be accounting, books, and all those things that we do every day, that accountants do every day, but they might just have a little bit of expectation that is different from the rest. So it is really good to note that as well. Thank you for finishing with that important point where we also have to be happy internally. Do we actually have the required equipment and tools that will allow us to do this work well, to satisfy this client. You know, what is put in front of us? What resources do we have access to for us to do our work well and actually satisfy our clients? So thank you so much for that, Robert. We have a few minutes to go, so I'll invite anyone else who would like to contribute to this conversation. Feel free. Welcome.
So we don't have much time, so I just want to add something. Recently, like I'm new to this industry, and I didn't know work culture and how this company works. But recently, I came to know something about. So there was one company, and it was like the company was delivering their work very late. So the client was disappointed, and the employee working that company resigned from the company, and he took away the client, and he working with client by establishing new firm. So by this example, we can say that service focused work is service focused work is main important thing when it comes to company, and to run the company, satisfaction of the customer is very very important. Yeah, I want to add this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sukesh, for that really interesting example right there. Thank you for that. Thank you for just showing how, you know, when work is not performed well by an individual, it will not be the person to be dragged out there. Yeah, it is the name of the company. Just like Robert had said, you have also just given an example that illustrates that very well. So thank you so much for that, because then it is the face, it is the reputation of the company that is at risk when we are not doing well at a personal individual level. So thank you for reminding us that yes, we are all here representing Moracle Foundation, Moracle Group. You know, in whatever we do, we are acting as Moracle, not as Alette, not as Pide, not as Noah or Skesh or Robert or anyone. It is Moracle that you are representing out there. So whatever you do is for, of course, there's an aspect of personal growth and personal, you know, development attached to it, which is also good to note. When you do well, you're also growing yourself. You're also putting yourself in a position where you are spotted by, you know, your maybe your superiors or your boss, you know, just exposing yourself to better opportunities, bigger opportunities in the process. Yes. So always remember that yes, you're probably representing Moracle now, but it is also some stepping stones for you to achieve greater height in future in whatever personal goals you have for yourself. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for all those you know, additions that you have brought together in regards to this topic. Thank you for listening and for making the time to be here for this session. I think we will end our discussion here for the day. I wish everyone a good day. Thank